Live from the New England seacoast and sunny Mexico, it's time for Channel Reviews. Please welcome your fabulous hosts, Mr. D. Nimmin. And Daniel Batal.
Man, we're not 30 seconds into this game show, and we've already lied to the audience. You're not in sunny Mexico, Mr. Dean. Even tell the people where you are today.
I somehow made it back to Thailand.
Now that is yes. The crowd goes crazy over that one.
It was a long 25 months, but I'm back in Thailand and I'm trying to wing a studio together at the last minute. Like I literally threw this together like last night. So
Scotch tape, prayers, and spit is all that's holding the show together today, folks. So stay on your toes.
Wars have been won with less than that.
Hey, it's good to see everybody in the chat today. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces out there. I saw Leela out there. Leela, we have to say a big congratulations. Leela recently crossed 100,000 subscribers, is now a verified channel. Congratulations, Leela. If you're a fan of all of the things she does now, she started off, she did a bunch of stuff that was covering Adobe. She's gone and she's done a lot of vlogging content now. Yeah. She's just a great channel to watch. If you want to learn how to be a better YouTuber by watching someone make great content, definitely check out Leela's channel.
Yeah, she's gone the distance and she's come up really fast too. Super proud. Super proud.
She's one of those perfect examples of someone who didn't give up, stuck with it, even when it felt impossible. I remember her trying to, she said like that last 600 or 700 subscribers to hit 100,000 was like running in sand. It was just like, when is it going to happen? But I'm so excited to see it happen for her.
That's the way it works, though. So, Daniel, what we're doing today, and I'll explain this to everybody who, maybe this is your first time here. If this is your first time here, go ahead and say first time in the chat right now. For those of you who have been following us on this live stream, second Saturday of every month, you know that everything is randomized. We use the Streamyard giveaway tool. If you're a Streamyard user, you can access that by going to streamyard.com/giveaway. And what's going to happen is you're going to be presented with a tool like this where you can type in any word, any hashtag that you want to put in there. And as people type that word into the chat, it's going to randomize and choose a winner. Once we choose a winner, then we're going to spin a wheel, and the wheel decides what we look at with your channel. Everything is automated. Everything is fair. Everyone has a fair chance.
Yeah. And well, one thing we should probably mention too here is that the wheel changes. The wheel is constantly in motion around here. So when you want to stay on your toes, because month to month, you never know what might be added to the wheel to make it a little more exciting than maybe it was last time you were here. So we try to keep you on your toes.
So let's go ahead and get started. We've got 15 entries. Let's move fast.
All right,
ready?
Let me find. Why don't you pick somebody? Let's see if we can get a channel here. 21 entries. Get that. Type into the chat exactly what you see on screen now. Spelled the way that Dee spelled it, without any spaces, the yard. And we're going to spin that. We're going to use the giveaway tool to pick someone right from the chat as our first contestant here on the show.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, let me see.
You ready?
Well, hang on. I'm ready when you are. Let's do it. You ready? Go.
Spin it. Let's go. My favorite part, we never know who it's going to be.
There's the winner, The Slow Path. The Slow Path.
The Slow Path. Okay, so the Slow Path. So Daniel is going to pull up your channel right now. We're also going to pull up the wheel. And when we pull up the wheel, it's going to decide what we look at on your channel. We want to dive deep. We want to go in and look at everything on your channel, but the wheel decides what we're actually going to look at. So Daniel, whenever you have that pulled up, let me know, and I'm going to have to share your screen to get you.
Let me do a few mutings here. Let me share some screens here. Yes, okay, and there. All right, so we have the slow path channel. I think that's the correct one right there, the slow path. As always, we are not allowed to make any decisions or commentary on this channel because we have a beautiful wheel that is going to let us know what it is that we're looking at today. So let me pull up the wheel. Here's our wonderful wheel. Let's open up that. Let's open up those beautiful curtains. Look at that beautiful wheel. I swear the slices are getting so populated now that it's getting a little harder to read. But you'll notice there are a few new slices that have been added. One is free spin. One is eliminated, one is advanced. We even have chat's choice in there. So there's a lot of things that can happen here. If you hit the eliminated slice, you are immediately out of that round of the game. Doesn't mean you couldn't get picked again later on. If you hit the advanced slice, you immediately move into the final round of the game where you get to get a spin for the wheel to pick something from the fabulous Streamyard catalog of prizes. And a free spin will add an extra spin onto your slate. So if you do happen to strike out along the way and you get an extra spin in there, then you can stay in the game a little bit longer. So what do you say, Dee? Shall we spin this thing?
Give it a spin. And by the way, every time we land on one, we remove that from the wheel.
It does
So
get
moves
it does get more dangerous as we move here.
That's right.
Let's see, what do we got?
What do we have?
End screens. End screens is one of those things we talk about a lot. Do you want to remind the people who might be new to the game show here exactly what we mean by end screens and why they might be important to a content creator out there trying to grow their channel?
Sure, an end screen or an outro, as some people call them on YouTube. It's what, when you get to the end of a video, you might see somebody has one video or two videos that will lead somebody into watch an additional playlist or another video on their channel. This is great because this is a tool that YouTube gives us to get more views. They give us a bunch of tools to do this, and we're going to cover all of them today. But this is something that you have to have at the end of your videos, especially if you're making longer videos. If someone makes it to the end of your video and they've made it all the way out there, they're committed. There's a really good chance that they might watch another piece of your content, especially if it's relevant to the video that you just watched. And it looks like you have two.
Two of them. Can't say that's a good way to start the game when we get someone who's actually using end screens. That's fantastic description of exactly why they're important. If you're not using them, definitely consider adding them on there because if you'll notice right down the side, YouTube is already going to start recommending all sorts of other content. So why don't you get ahead of them and start recommended before the up next screen comes or they scroll down the sidebar suggested and start recommending your own content so that hopefully the viewer will watch one of your videos instead of moving on to someone else's channel.
Hey, they're going to watch something.
They are going to watch something.
Might as well be your
Trust me, I found that out the hard way. They will watch something.
All right, so you get another spin.
Let's do this again. So that's one hit. We're liking where we're heading.
Did you remove it? Did it automatically?
It automatically removes it.
Perfect. You're all high tech now.
Oh, well, we're not playing around here. This isn't Mexico. All right, we have cards. Another important way that you can recommend content to a potential viewer. Do you want to explain how to use cards effectively?
Yeah, so the card is the little round dot that you'll see up in the top right-hand corner if somebody has cards in their video. Again, this is another tool that YouTube gives us to get more views on the videos that you watch. Now, here's the thing. Somebody's watching your video. You don't want to put cards too far in the beginning because they might see that card and click out and it could hurt that video. But put your card a little bit later at the end. So we're on the 70, 80% mark around that video. Somebody gets around towards the end, give them another video that's relevant to the one that they're watching. Right? Absolutely. What you want to do is you want to get all the opportunities for the viewer to actually watch another piece of content, cards, end screens, pinned comment, link in the description, etc. We're going to cover all this today.
Right. So I'm going to pick something here, a card you wouldn't use in something like a short because typically the shorts don't display cards. So where you'd want to put that in is a longer form piece of content. Let's go to this one that was 2 weeks ago and let's see. Yes, in fact, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, she does have a card right here pushing towards another piece of content. So that is another hit. Hey, listen, we did notice I was nice enough to change videos. It looks like your brand new video did not have a card in it. Really try to remember when you're publishing. YouTube actually walks you through a best practices list as your video's uploading. I think most of you guys know if you're uploading videos using desktop, it'll give you prompts to try to do some of these things along the way. Do you want to add a card? Do you want to add an end screen? So if you do it while the video's uploading and you're sitting waiting for it to process and upload properly, that's a great time to take care of those things and get them all knocked out of the park. So when your video does go live and it's fresh and new, you have all those things in place right when that video hits the ground running.
Love it. All right, we're off to a great start today.
I think so.
One more spin. Let's go.
Wait a second. Let's get that. Let me get that wheel back up here, and let's spin it. The wheel's getting a little thinner now as we start removing slices. Which is not true of me. I'm the same weight I've always been. Okay, this is a featured link in the description. Now, Dee and I have talked about this before. We've talked about cards. We've talked about end screens. When you publish your video, the description that appears below that video is a perfect place for someone to put a link to another video. In fact, by definition, YouTube says that part of suggested traffic is videos that are discovered by links in the descriptions of other videos. So an easy way to improve your suggested traffic is put links where someone can see them really quickly, hopefully above the fold, above the show more. And if they click them, that's going to improve your suggested traffic. It's going to get more content into their recent watch history, and all good things can start to happen from recommendation there. So let me come over here and let me scroll down a bit. Now, above the fold, let me get my old man microscope out. I'm seeing a lot of hashtags, but I'm not seeing a link to another video. But that doesn't mean that you don't have something that's featured here. Let me click to show more. You have Buy Me a Coffee. You've got TubeBuddy. You have these other videos. You do have other videos. I'm going to let Dee. What do you think here? As we play this game month after month, I think we get pickier and pickier because we really want to see people optimize for the viewer. Now, there's definitely links in the description, but we have said specifically we're looking for a featured link in the description. What would you say?
I'm going to give it to her.
All right. Gonna send it. And that's three. So we're gonna send her on to the end of the right. It's our first winner right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to her because she has titles there. It gives me a little bit of an idea what the videos are. Like if they were just links, like, hey, you might enjoy these videos, and they just drop some links. Definitely not. But they're a little bit descriptive, so.
Yeah, so anybody thinking about how you can take your optimization to the next level, think about taking one specific link, whether that's pushing towards another video, or maybe you have a product that you're trying to sell, maybe you have an affiliate link, maybe you have a course, maybe you have an email opt-in. Try to get that right up top and feature it so someone doesn't have to click show more and then have to look at 9 other links and go, which is the one that's important? Because if you leave things in a bin like that, that sort of assumes that the people are going to start searching and looking for it. What we're really trying to do with featured links in your description is to grab someone who's just kind of perusing quickly, maybe scrolling down to leave a comment, and bam, they get hit in the face with a link that's right up there in the description where they can see it.
I love it. All right, so congratulations. You move on to the finals. And the next word that people need to type in, looks like 33 people have already done so. The word is YouTube. So we'll let a couple more people type in the word YouTube. I've heard of it. Geraldo, who's on Timpani today? Is it Geraldo?
Geraldo is back also. He has made it back to his home country. Apparently, there was an exchange program where you come back from Mexico and they send him back from Thailand. So
it was like a hostage situation.
We bartered. Release.
I appreciate it.
All right. What do you say? You want to spin this thing?
Spin it. Let's go.
I see Geraldo has not lost his chops. He sounds as flavorful as ever on the timpani.
He is.
And the winner is Success is the Goal. Success is the Goal. Let me pull that channel up.
All right. Looking forward to it. I love pulling up channels. Like when I see the channel name, Success is the Goal, I'm thinking motivation, maybe some financial tips. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this channel is. Let's see what it is.
Okay, so there we have it. You were pretty close on here. Knowledge is power in school, life, and work. Yep.
Knowledge, yeah. Pretty close.
Right. So listen, but we're not allowed to say anything. Now, I do happen to know this channel very well. I'm not going to say a thing. I do. Yeah, he's actually in our channel memberships group. So we know a little bit about each other. I expect good things when we have someone who's in one of our group shows up here. I expect to see some optimization in action. So you better not let me down.
You know what? It always makes you nervous when you pull someone up who's a channel member because you're like, please don't.
Well, you know what? You know what the thing is too. Not to go off on a tangent, but this is a perfect example of we pulled up my channel and I've missed some of the best practices. Sure. So this is one of those things where it goes to show that even we can be aware of these things, but sometimes we'll forget or we'll miss it on one thing. We forget to go back and say I'm going to do that later, and we don't. So it's one of those things. It's a good reminder, even if you don't get these things right, to think about them, put them back in your head, and go, I really should get back in there and pay attention to my channel optimization. All right, so let's grab the wheel here and let's see what we are going to look at. So I'm not adding any slices, right? We're not restarting this wheel. We're going to, oh man, it's getting trickier. Right. Okay, we're going for it.
Keep it spinning.
Thank you, Geraldo. You were right on cue that time.
He was.
Boy, if he gets eliminated, that will be a real gut punch. And we have clear value proposition. Now, we've talked about this one a lot. Clear value proposition should mean that at a glance, a value proposition should basically mean you should have the ability in an instant to have the viewer understand what your channel's about, who the target audience is, and why they might want to watch your channel, okay? Dialing in a really strong value proposition allows you to do things like make better channel art, make stronger video titles, make better thumbnails, make better playlist titles, because you should be able to look at that and say, does this represent my value proposition when taken out of context from the channel? So if we open up his channel and take a peek at, let me just grab it again. Hold on, restore. I'll get this down yet. One of these days, I'll figure this out, D. I swear. Yeah, there we go. So right when we get here, D, because he's my student and I might be biased, I'm going to say, you take a look and you tell me what you think about the value proposition of this channel.
All right, let's see here. Success is the goal. Knowledge is power in school, work, and life. Success is the goal. Knowledge is power in school, work, or life. Highlight that again. Go back.
And the name of the featured piece of content is how to research for information for a presentation. As we scroll down, we start seeing playlist titled Success in Public Speaking. Another playlist is Review of Advanced Vocabulary. Another playlist is Advanced Vocabulary Words You Should Be Using. Do you think, tell me what you think about the value proposition about knowledge is power and what he's got going on here, and if you think it's clear or not. Or throw it to the chat.
How about, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking, how about we throw it to the chat? I know what I think about this, but let's throw it to the chat. So
give it to the Lions.
Let's give it to the Lions. If you think this is a clear value proposition, give it a thumbs up. If you're not sure, give it a thumbs down.
Here we go. Oh, here come the Lions. They sound hungry today, too.
They all do.
We fed them recently.
Really hungry.
Very hungry. Very hungry Lions today. So thumbs up if you think you can understand this value proposition. Thumbs down if you think it's not very clear, and we'll let you all decide.
Success is a goal. We got some thumbs up coming up.
Yeah, I'm seeing thumbs up. I'm seeing yeses, thumbs up. I think I see one thumbs down. Let me see. I'm thumbs up, thumbs down, two thumbs up, yes, thumbs up. It looks like I'm seeing more, an overwhelming amount of yeses and thumbs up that they feel they understand what this channel's about without having to dig too deep. What would you say?
So I'm going to go with the crowd on this one. It's a little bit mixed. And here's my thought. It's a value proposition, right? It's a value proposition, but I do think with a little bit of work, he can dial it in a little bit more.
I think you're right. I think it plays in between. You know, success can mean so many things. Knowledge can mean so many things. So really defining what it says in school, life, and work is so broad, right? What's the knowledge? Right. Is the knowledge base? Are you teaching me, school, life, and work? So you're probably going to teach me knowledge about how to use Windows as a platform or do data entry? Probably not. Doesn't look like from the rest of the channel. So really think about explaining exactly the kind of knowledge base that you're providing and why it's important. And don't be quite as broad, but I think the Lions have spoken, so that's a win.
Just a little bit of polishing on there, just a little bit more clarity. I think you're in there.
Sweet.
But you move forward. Yes. Congratulations.
All right, so let's see here. Let's pull up the old wheel and let's give another spin. Thanks for not making me look too bad out there, Mr. Walters. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And there you're sweating there.
Yeah. Clear thumbnails. D, explain to the people when we say clear thumbnails what we're talking about.
Clear thumbnails. It means that by the thumbnail, right? If somebody's sitting on their phone, they're scrolling. First and foremost, the goal of the thumbnail is to get people to stop scrolling, to get people to click, or get people to tap to watch. So it needs to be something that gets their attention. It needs to be something compelling or something that explains what the video is. If you've got text on there, it should be clear and easy to read text, something that's mobile friendly, something where you can read everything on a phone. And when you're putting text on there, you don't want to jam a ton of text up there. When it comes to thumbnails, usually less is more. Find a couple of trigger words or words that people will identify with. Put those on your thumbnail if you're going to put text on your thumbnail. Overall, you're just looking for clarity. So when someone sees the thumbnail by itself, they either know what the video is about or it compels them to click in to learn more about the video.
Yeah, and he's definitely got a few different thumbnail styles going on in here. There is in some of the imagery the exact thing that you just said. Like all of these little words inside of this light bulb, although I like the light bulb, it's so layered that you've got 5 words up top and then a light bulb with a lot of words in it that you can't. It's really just saying like ideas, develop, research. I get it's more of an image than it's supposed to be text, but there is a lot of text. When I scroll down and I start looking at these other videos here, there's still a lot of text. I think they're kind of readable and I understand it. You know what the biggest problem I have here, Dee? And see if you feel the same way. My eye is pulled in too many directions. Yes. Power words, review, part 2, 45, advanced, and then the timestamp covers, you know, what I guess is the word words. So I'm getting pulled in a lot of directions. And one of the things that I always try to teach, maybe I don't coach it well enough, is redundancy in thumbnails can be problematic. It's nice to have branding. It's nice to have people see your thumbnail and go, oh, I know who that's from. But to have them be almost identical to the point where you would need to really stop and review, is that a different video or have I seen it? If that's even the case, then I tell you to mix it up, because if you just keep putting like slightly different text into the exact same thumbnail time after time after time, people can get confused whether or not they've even seen that video, or if they have, and you've lost that intrigue of trying to reach them. Now, if these all had hundreds of thousands of views, I would say, well, you know what, I can't really argue. He's clearly figured out how to connect with his target audience, but the views are lower on some of these. They're not huge views. So if it were me, and because he's one of my coaching clients, I'm allowed to drop the hammer. I'm going to say these thumbnails could use some work. I don't think they're very clear.
I would agree with you. They are not clear. Too many words. You know, I mentioned that less is usually more. And, you know, a lot of us, especially when we're new to YouTube, we think we need to get all the information into the thumbnail. We got to cram all of this in the thumbnail because we need the viewer to understand exactly what's going on. Well, you can do that too with just a couple of words. You need to really think through and think about what's the main key points I'm trying to get across here. And cramming tons of text into the thumbnail is just not the answer.
Yeah.
And if you're mixing colors, your eyes will be drawn to certain colors first. So you need to be mindful of that as well.
Very true. And I'm also a fan of, speaking of thumbnails, you can put custom thumbnails on shorts because they don't get served on the short shelf. But if that short is found anywhere else in browse, in suggested, in search, any of those other categories, this is what is being served as your thumbnails, and they're not helping compel the viewer to do anything. So just consider that when you're moving forward about, you know, if you're going to do shorts, it may be worth it if you're really trying to squeeze out extra views to make sure you take a little time to make a custom thumbnail for them as well. 16 by 9, not 9 by 16.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, that one is going to be a strike, unfortunately. So where are we at? We're at a 1 and 1. 1 and 1? 1 and 1. All right.
That was 1 and 1.
Okay. Let's get that wheel back out and let's see what
spin it.
Let's see what happens next here. Wheel's getting thinner again. He's going to yell at me later. Like, really? Did you have to brutalize me in front of all those people today, Daniel?
Yeah.
Optimized titles. Dee, I'm going to throw this one to you, and I'm going to let you decide whether or not you think the titles of these videos, let me see if I can pull some of them up so that you can, and I know they're a little tricky from your end to see sometimes. How to write a thesis statement, 4 easy steps. How to come up with new ideas fast. How to write a speech outline, part 1. How to research for information for let me see where it said, for a presentation. Bring your ideas to life with research. What do you feel about these titles?
I like them.
I agree. I think the titles are solid.
Yeah, for the type of content that he's making, I think these work just fine.
Yeah, I would know in a second. I like that most of these are not truncated. And folks, when we say truncation, see how this one here got the ... Even though you're allowed to put, in some cases, up to 150 characters in your title, YouTube will still truncate them, and they truncate them differently for desktop and mobile. So a lot of times what you want to think about is making sure something that's a great title doesn't get chopped in half so that the viewer doesn't get the whole message and might miss something that would have compelled them to click.
Yeah.
But that's so that's 2 and 1. That's 2. He's doing well. This next one could be all of it, my friend.
Yep. Make it or
Let's
break
see
it.
what
Let's
happens.
go.
Thank you, Geraldo. I didn't have to mention his name. He's right on the timpani. Man, he's getting all the best practices today. Optimized playlist. Dee, quickly explain to the people out there what we mean by optimized playlists.
All right, optimized playlist is when you handle your playlist just like you would a video. You don't want to put a playlist together and just call it vlogs, or you don't want to just call it knowledge, right? You want to treat the title of your playlist just like you would a video. It needs to be descriptive. It needs to be compelling. It needs to tell people what the playlist is about. And you can also write a description letting people know in detail what the playlist is about. And they should be grouped together. They should be like videos, similar pieces of content, so people can go in and watch and binge your content. And with this type of content, it's perfect for that sort of thing, especially since you have a, part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah, and I'm loving what he's got on his homepage here. Advanced vocabulary words you should be using. Learn new words to expand your communication skills that will increase your confidence and ability to communicate at a higher level. Really, really smart. He's done a nice compact title, then he's got a deeper explanation that really talks to the viewer and explains what he's actually going to be doing in this playlist. He's got another one, review of advanced vocabulary. The other one is success in public speaking. Just the thought of public speaking or recording yourself can be very tricky and cause anxiety. He's got it all there. I would say this is a total win on this one, trying to hit optimized plays. These look great, my man.
Yeah, total win. And for everybody in here, go over to your playlist, look at your playlist, and ask yourself, can I look at my title, and can I look at the description, and can I know just from that what this group of videos are about? If the answer is no, then you need to work on your playlist.
And that's three hits, so he's going to be moving on to our final round. We have someone moving forward. We're doing well today.
Yeah.
We're moving right through this.
We're off to a great start. The next word to type in is thumbnail, as in YouTube, a thumbnail. So go ahead and type that into the chat right now. Yeah, usually, Daniel, when we get started, we usually don't have 2 back-to-back winners like this.
You know what? Maybe, I don't know if this stuff is sinking in or people are just getting smarter about optimizing their channels and getting them set up, knowing that we're going to come in here and pick them apart.
Yeah, they're getting smarter.
That's great.
All right, we
Love
got
it.
20 in here. You ready? Let's go ahead.
Let's do it.
All right, let's spin it. 33.
The winner is Sir Michael G. Not just Michael G. Sir Michael G. He's been knighted by Her Royal Highness.
Sir Michael G.
Michael G.
I'm thinking gaming channel.
Maybe Sir Michael G. It's tough. He's branding himself. His name. That's something that you do, that I do, that your brother does. So it could be anything really if he's but the Sir has got me off a little. I want to see.
The graphics behind the avatar is just kind of giving me gamer vibes.
Okay. Well, here's the channel. I'm not seeing gamer, but
I failed that one.
I don't know. If you're a prognosticator, I think that you may have missed on this one. Dee will be giving tarot card readings later on. They're not very expensive because they're not very good. All right, sorry, don't mean to be picking on you, pal. Let me find that wheel. And look at the wheel again is getting thinner and thinner. Dee, I'm going to leave it up to you to tell me when we restore the wheel, but I'll just keep going as long as you want to let this thing thin out.
We're going to keep going, and then maybe when the wheel's gone, maybe we just move over to sudden death.
All right,
and maybe we just power through.
All right, let's see what we can do. Let's spin that thing.
All right.
Thank you, Geraldo, doing a great job over there, pal.
I like it. I like a lot.
There we go, free spin. So whatever happens here, he's going to grab, let's add another spin onto his particular round so that even if he gets 3 strikes, he gets one extra shot at staying in the game. But we're going to spin it again. Is it the first free spin we've ever seen come up? It may be.
It is. It is.
It's momentous. In honor of you being back in Thailand, we're having new slices start to arise.
That's right.
Chapters. Dee, can you explain to people what we mean by chapters, what we're looking for specifically in this particular game show?
Right. Chapters are also known as timestamps, and you can add those in your description. You can put the actual timestamp for where the video is, and you can write a little description about what that little section is, right? So you can have multiple timestamps for each section of the video. And instead of just putting part 1, part 2, part 3, get descriptive with that if you can, if it makes sense to let the viewer know what that's about. Get creative with it. And YouTube is supposed to, and Daniel, I don't know if they're doing this yet, but YouTube is supposed to start recommending chapters for search results.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that yet, but I know.
No, I've actually, someone had pointed out, I haven't seen it myself, but someone sent me a screen share. Sometimes they test these with different audiences first, so some people will see it before the rest of us will in different regions. But I did see some of it. Someone sent me a screen share. I was like, oh, wow, you can actually, that is actually a piece of that chapter being highlighted in search.
Nice. So they're already starting. They're testing it. That's fantastic. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense with all videos. Doesn't make sense with videos that are really short. But if you can add chapters, if it makes sense to go from one part to another part to another part, think about viewer satisfaction here. Think about making it easy for the viewer to get to the content that they want to see.
Right. Now, I'm going to try to find a video that I think should play into chaptering. How about a day of movie theme songs? That would be a lot of different songs. So if there was any video here that might need some chaptering, this would be the one where you could list where each different song is. So if someone was interested in seeing a specific song from this longer, what looks to be, it's a live stream, they could easily find that.
Oh, yeah.
I am not seeing any chapters, even though they've got the music in here. I'm not seeing any chapters in this live stream. I'm going to try one more. I want to be fair here. Let me try see if I can find one other video that maybe isn't an hour long. Maybe he's got one that, here's one that's 20 minutes. A lot of these are longer videos. I'm trying to make sure I'm being fair. And sometimes
Also,
even my
YouTube
live streams, I don't chapter.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense for everybody, but it's a video and it does make sense. That's what we're looking at. And YouTube will also do auto chapters sometimes, and they'll create their own chapters.
So let me see. How about a, let me see, one that's a little shorter. I'm going to go with Getting to Know Me. Here's a part 1 and part 2. So if you went ahead and made part 1 and part 2 about yourself and you wanted to know things, then that might be something where you could break that up into areas of interest, because you went so far as to make 2 separate videos and title them separately. And unfortunately, I am not seeing any chapters in any of this.
He commented in the chat. He says his live streams do not have chapters, but I do have chapters on some vlogs.
Okay. Well, let's
see. So
see.
he is chaptering some of them based on what he thinks needs them.
Okay. Can he? Well, you got to prove it to me. I got to see it. You can't just say.
Grab a vlog. Grab the first vlog you see.
I'm looking for the vlog. Let's see. What are we calling a vlog? I'm looking. Let's see. Friends Forever. That says vlog. These say vlog. So this was 19 minutes. Let's look. And there are no chapters in this vlog. And unfortunately, my friend, we gave you 3 chances here. So
yep.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a strike today.
That's all right.
Do we still have our strike graphic? Is that still in Mexico?
Another spin. Do I have that? I do have the strike graphics up here. Was that number 1 or number 2?
That was the first strike.
With my Rodecaster being kind of wacky, I haven't been hitting the buttons over here much.
Don't touch anything.
But just in case, you tell me if it's too loud. Ready?
Yeah. No, I think that's
loud?
fine. That worked for me. Okay. I think a loud buzzer is a good buzzer. But let's spin the wheel again and let's see what we're looking at next. This is getting scary. Pinned comment. Dee, explain to the people when we talk about pinned comment what we mean and why it's important.
All right. A pinned comment is a comment that you leave on your channel under your own video where you tell people to go and do something else. If you're trying to grow your channel, we recommend linking out to another video or another playlist on your channel that's relevant to the one that they just watched. If you have other goals, maybe you're like, oh, I'm not trying to grow my channel with this particular video. Maybe I'm trying to drive people into a sales funnel. Maybe I'm trying to get affiliate sales, etc. Whatever it is, you can use your pinned comment as a way to bring attention to whatever it is that you want to bring attention to. And
all right,
really easy to do.
I'm going to let you make the call here. There is a pinned comment, but the pinned comment is basically saying...
Look at another video. Let's look at another video.
It's not pushing towards anything. And,
right,
and what I did was...
Here,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. Why don't you go find another video? Yeah. And what you're doing here, when you're just writing something down, you're like, hey, guys, and you're just writing random stuff, you're leaving views on the table, or you're leaving affiliate sales on the table. Whatever it is you're trying to bring attention to, you're leaving that stuff on the table. It looks here that you are trying to bring attention to some other social media accounts.
Yep, there's a pinned comment here that does have follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm going to say, you know what? I was pretty harsh on him on the last one, and as I look up, I can actually see this vlog has some chapters.
He does have some
so
chapters.
I'm going to give him a pass on this one, whether I think he's on marginally there or not, because he did happen to also stumble across one with chapters. So why don't we give him the win on this particular one and say we're going to give you a hit.
There you go.
And let's go back to the wheel and let's see what we're going to look at next.
It's like
There's not much left.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of slices of this pie left.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my favorite. Chat's choice. The chat can look at what is here or decide from the other things that we've talked about before what they think we should take a look at this channel. You guys in the chat, you guys pick. You just got shout out something. If you want to pick it from the wheel and look at the wheel and see what's left, you want to shout something out. I'll let Dee be the decider which one he's going to pull from the chat. But you guys tell us what to look at.
All right.
If you can't read the wheel, let me explain. Let me make sure the chat can read these. Here we have consistent uploads. We have featured content and clear channel name are the three that are left on the wheel. Clear channel name, featured content, and consistent uploads.
Thumbnails. We have overwhelming thumbnails coming in.
Yeah, we do have overwhelming thumbnails. Okay, let's look at thumbnails. Everybody knows how important thumbnails are. Let's go back to this. And because I think this is only fair, Dee, because the chat picked what they wanted to look at, why don't we let those lions out there decide whether or not they think these thumbnails are clear?
All right, so give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think these thumbnails are clear. Lions are hungry.
Man, these lions can be vicious too. Are those kids? Are those kids in that pit with the lion? We may be in trouble with some of our hiring practices here. What? That was close enough to 18. Throw them in there. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, so some of the comments we're starting to see is someone did say clear, but I'm seeing too busy. I'm seeing thumbs down, sorry, but thumbs down, kind of a thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down, too busy, thumbs down, thumbs down. Yeah, you know, Doug Houston saying it looks busy. I think the crowd has kind of spoken here. The She-Fire says busy but clear. I think some of them are clear. I think she's right. There's areas that, like, thank you all for your birthday greetings. You can kind of read it. I would argue I'm going to lean with the rest of them. I think stuff like this with all those, those YouTube logos in there and all the dates. There's so much going on here. It's harder for me to read, especially if this was on a mobile device.
Yeah. So, you're choosing a good font, right? You're choosing a good font. There's good contrast going on here. So you know what you're doing. Unfortunately, you are just cramming everything into the thumbnail, and that's where you're going wrong. It's too much. People don't have time to stop and read all of that. People are going to glance at just a couple of words at most. So what I would recommend is just go through your thumbnails and just try to pick, just a couple of words that make the most sense. Don't worry about cramming everything in there. Don't worry about putting the date in there because people can see the date of the video.
Yeah,
right.
It'll tell them when it was streamed in retrospect, and it'll tell them when it's coming up in advance. So another thing is too, think about where the viewer's eye is drawn to. If you're going to use an arrow, you've got arrows pointing all to the left. You got ones up top pointing to the right. You got one pointing back at you. So you're pushing the viewer's eye all over the place. When you make a thumbnail, you really should glance at it, and it should pull you right to the thing that's important immediately. That's where your eye wants to be drawn. So it's simple. All the other things become what we call distractions, and they distract from the actual messaging of the video so that someone knows in an instant what it might be about.
Right.
So unfortunately,
your thumbnail.
What are we at now? Is that 2 and 2? He's got an extra spin, this one, right? Free spin?
He does.
So is that two strikes and one hit, Megan? That's correct. Megan says, 2 strikes, 1 hit, but he's got an extra free spin. So technically he's allowed 4 strikes. Let's get back to that wheel. Let's see what we're going to look at next. Hey, guys in the chat, thank you very much for helping out with that. You make our lives easy when you help us do the show. Pick things for us and then judge for us. Okay, noted. I can improve. That's really great attitude, by the way. We're all doing this because we're trying to make sure that we can improve. We're not trying to pick on anyone's channel.
Right. And
featured content. And when we talk about featured content, what we're referring to is on your channel, on your homepage, you have a spot right on your homepage where you can put a piece of content for a new visitor, someone who's not been to your channel before, or a returning subscriber. And when we come here, we immediately see, I am not subscribed, so I'm a new visitor, and you absolutely have a piece of content right here ready for me, featured up top. So that is yet another hit. Well done, my friend.
That was 3. He's moving on, right?
Is that 3? No, it's 2 and 1. That's 2 and 2 right now. 2 strikes, 2 hits. He's got 1 extra free spin. So let's see what happens. He's going to move on, or we're going to be right on the fence here.
All right. Final spin.
Yeah.
The final spin. Boy, that's looking rough.
Oh, man.
I really hope you don't land on eliminated.
This is the wheel you gave me?
Oh, no. Oh, oof.
Clear channel name. Okay, this one can be tricky. Dee, can you explain to somebody what we mean by clear channel name?
A clear channel name, and this, like Daniel said, this one can be tricky. A clear channel name is something that's easy to tell someone about verbally. It's something that is easy to spell. Sometimes people get really creative with their channel names, and they use 3s instead of E's and 0s instead of O's. And
Sometimes
so
they
forth.
leave spaces out, so all the words are crammed together like some kind of weird hashtag.
Exactly. However, in this case, Sir Michael G, he's doing personal branding on this. I think it works. I'm going to give it to him.
I agree 100%. If I said to you, I was looking at this channel, Sir Michael G, you'd go, oh, I think I can find that and type it into the search engine without asking me to repeat it 12 times. So well done. That is your 3rd hit, and you are moving on to the final round, my friend. Very well done.
Way to go. All right, the word that so many of you have been typing in, as I've been sneaking it on the screen, is playlist. So if you have not typed in playlist yet into the chat, go ahead and type that in. We'll leave it up on the screen here for just a couple more seconds before we have Geraldo play the timpani. Man, I don't think anybody's flunked out today.
No,
everyone has advanced.
Yeah, 3 channels so far, moving pretty quickly, and every one of them has made it into the final round. I'd love it when that happens.
Everyone's made it into the... Yeah, this is fantastic. And the way this works is once we get to the very end, and we're going to move into another section here as soon as the wheel's gone called sudden death. And that's where everyone just gets 1 chance. And this is where we really start to ramp things up and move through channels quickly.
Heck yeah.
And all of the winners go through a final spin at the end, and the wheel decides who the final winner is. And Daniel, tell them what they can win.
You get to choose any single item from the Streamyard merchandise catalog. They have all kinds of great stuff. Hoodies, t-shirts, they have fantastic mugs. These are the best. These are my favorite. These mugs are huge. They've got, you name it, they have it. They have pillows. They've got just a great line of Streamyard merch. Any single item that you decide that you might like to have sitting in your office or on your set, we'll send it right out to you courtesy of Streamyard, our wonderful sponsors who allow us to do this on their channel every month.
I love it. I need to get a new mug. I had to leave all of that behind. I had to leave behind the pillow, the Streamyard pillow.
What?
I had to leave behind the mug.
You couldn't fit him in that suitcase?
Yeah.
You did bring the girlfriend, right? She came back with you. She fit? Oh. Sorry. Whoops. Hey, if anybody happens to be in Mexico, there's something we might need you to do a quick stop and pick something up for us.
Yeah. I got to go. I'll be right back. All right, let's give it a spin. We have 57 entries. Geraldo, you ready?
Geraldo is ready. Let's do this.
All right, let's go.
I love reading the names as they go by.
Yeah, me too.
Poop scoops for noobs. Poop scoops for noobs. Okay, well, that is a bit of a tongue twister, but I love this name. I'm dying to see what this channel might be. Poop scoops for noobs. Okay.
I mean, I have an idea what it's going to be, but he could throw us a curveball and just, could be something totally unrelated.
Yeah, that's true. So we shall see. Okay. Here is the channel. Poop scoops for noobs. See, not in a million years would I have said this is a financial advice channel, but let's hope you don't get clear channel name. It's a choice. Well, actually, this is what I've said to you, you are in control of this wheel. This is what's left on the wheel. What would you like me to do?
All right, let me zoom in. Let me see what we're looking at here.
Host choice,
consistent uploads,
eliminated, and advanced.
Eliminated. Well,
man, that's a 25% chance with a single spin you could just go forward. It's also a 25% chance that you could be eliminated.
Poop scoop for noobs. Unfortunately, this is the hand that you've been dealt.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
YouTube channel reviews. Here we go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That is a
Adios. Hasta luego.
That's a tough hit for Poop Scoop for Noobs. But that happens. That's what happens here.
That's what happens.
All right, Dee, why don't we throw a word into the chat if we haven't, and we'll find another contestant. See, that's another thing too. It makes us move really quickly here.
Yeah. I gotta type one in. So I wasn't expecting that one.
I know. Keeps us on our toes too.
Right. So the next section that's coming up here really soon, it's called sudden death. Those of you who have been with us for a while, you know how quickly that moves. Everything changes. You get one chance. If you have not been through sudden death before, make sure you stick around because this gets really fun.
Really,
we move fast.
We move so fast that we can't keep up.
Yes.
Speaking of sudden death, Poop Scoops for Noobs. I hope you didn't take that hit too hard, my friend. Feel free to come back on our next show, and we'll say everyone always has the chance to come back and try again for another shot at winning something from the Streamyard merch. It's not like you're not allowed to come back and try again.
Okay, sudden death. We got 44 entries already, 50 entries. Geraldo, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, I look forward all month to sudden death. That's my favorite part.
Flying Cat Gaming. Flying Cat Gaming is a channel. And as we've said before, actually, I misspoke there. Poop Scoops for Noobs, you can continue to put words in the chat and could get pulled up again. We've had it happen. Channels get eliminated, come back in, and get pulled up a second time and can fight their way to victory depending on what the wheel happens to decide. So stay in the game. Don't leave us yet. There's always that chance it could come back around. Right. So let's see. What was the channel we were
Flying
looking for?
Cat?
Flying Cat.
Flying Cat what? Ooh, I pulled it out. Pulled it out already. What was it? Just Flying Cat Gaming.
Flying Cat Gaming. Okay.
Yep.
Flying Cat Gaming. Let me make sure I can find it. Am I spelling it right? Flying Cat. Oh, Flying Cat is one word, no space in between. Let me see.
Clear channel name right here.
Yep.
This is
this one. Yep. Flying Cat, all one word. All right, now this is. I'm done apologizing to Poop Scoops for Noobs because I might have to. We'll see what happens here. This is another scary one. Let me ask you a question, Dee. We haven't been in this situation before. If there are only 3 choices on the wheel right now, so there could be a potential the wheel could run out in the middle of someone having not advanced and not having striked out. So would we restart the wheel?
Here's what we do.
What?
If that's the case, we throw it to the Lions, and Lions decide.
Oh,
they decide advance or not.
Okay. All right. Well, let's roll this and let's see what we've got from our last 3 slices.
And in case you don't know, in the chat, you are the Lions.
You are the Lions.
You are, in fact, the Lions.
Oh, man. There we go. That's how things can happen here when you are playing with so many few. Right to the end. Didn't have to do a thing. Right on to the end. Going to have a chance to go for one of the prizes at the very end. The name of that is Flying No Space Cat Game. Now I have to look at that. I have to make sure I get this in the winners. Flying Cat Gaming. All right.
Now, the unfortunate part of that is we didn't get a chance to look at your channel. So that was kind of like you won channel reviews without even being looked at. So
yeah, that's right.
And I think that was the first time that's ever happened.
That is the very first time. So we have a double winner here. Not only someone who's moved on to the final round, but the first time that slice is actually pulled up in our game. So congratulations.
Yep. All right, you ready to spin this one?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's go. I love it. My hands are sweating.
Heavy Metal Chef.
Heavy Metal Chef. Let's go, man.
Well, I have to. I have to ask the same question again, Dee. We are now down to 2 slices on the wheel. We just keep going.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see how it pans out.
Well, all right. God hates a coward. Let me see if I can find Heavy Metal Chef. Come on, Heavy Metal. Am I spelling it right? Are there any spaces or anything in there? Nope, I got it.
Yeah,
I think
there's
this is
spaces.
it. Make sure I get the right one. Pull this up. Make sure that's the right channel.
I believe so.
There could be more than. Is there more than one heavy metal chef?
They should
We
make
should
a
have them
band
have-
if there is.
We should have like a hard rock guitar solo off. See
Right.
Who's the reigning heavy metal chef? All right. I'm not going to do a thing. I'm going to pull up the wheel with the multitude of choices that it has.
Whoa.
And let's see what happens here.
Wow.
This is what we call the flip a coin round.
The wheel won't even. Oh, there it goes.
Host choice. Dee, I'm going to let you be the host today and choose what you'd like to take a look at. Oh, this is really funny. I didn't know this. The wheel automatically resets when it gets down to a single choice.
Oh, well, I don't like that at all.
We're going to have to do...
I don't like that at all.
We've never been in this position before. Folks, listen, I've told you, flying by the seat of our pants today.
Okay, so yeah, host choice. I'm going to say, let's look at pinned comments. Let's see if the heavy metal chef has heavy metal pinned comments.
Sure. Let me go to the videos tab. Let me see. Let's go back. I'll look at something in the recent last 5 or 10 videos. Let's see. This one has 165 views. That's a short. I'm trying to find one that's a longer video. That's 116 views. That's probably one that could use a. You looking for a pinned comment?
Yep.
Okay. So right here, we do, in fact, have a pinned comment. Like competition, check out this video. And he's got a link to another piece of content. So
There
that's
you go.
a big hit right off the bat.
There you go.
Okay, well, you made a call before. You said that if we got down to one slice, we would let the chat choose. Should we do that?
We should.
You can pull the wheel up again. So if anyone wants to look at the wheel and get some ideas of the kind of things that we've been talking about, this might give you a hint. There's things like consistent uploads, pinned comments, clear thumbnails, end screens, cards, optimized titles. Well, we shouldn't pick pinned comment because we just did that. But featured content, clear channel name. What do you guys think? Yell something out in the chat and I'll let Dee pick from one of your choices that you guys called out. Man, you know what I'm seeing again? A lot of thumbnails.
Really?
Clear value prop. I'm seeing clear value. That's coming up quite a bit. That's an important one. Chapters I'm seeing a couple times. What do you think, Dee?
What's going to be? Let's do.
I'm seeing value prop
proposition.
come up quite a bit here. If I'm going to
Let's do
lean
value
on what,
proposition.
and that's so important. So let's go. We want to go with that one, Dee?
We can go with that one. I mean, it's a little bit tricky because he says he's a chef, right?
Well, hey, listen, if
you
you're a
know.
heavy metal chef, then that's a very clear value proposition.
I
I will
mean-
say this. I'm going to tell you this. We're not looking at the channel art itself. It's heavy metal chef. I'm looking at the things that would help define that. I think the name crushes it, heavy metal chef. So really smart branding in there. But what do you think about the other pieces of this equation?
Let me zoom in here. Let me go.
You've
Now,
got
see, this is
channel
where
art that
things-
has like a bunch of albums. And Lord
Yeah.
knows nothing is more heavy metal than Leon Russell.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I fail right there.
Now you're offending my heavy metal sensibilities, my friend.
Right.
I love Leon Russell. He's just not metal.
I mean, there isn't a value proposition, but the name heavy metal chef, like if you can't figure out what you're doing by that,
when we say value proposition, we really do mean what the channel's about, who the target audience is, and why they should watch your channel. I get that it's a cooking channel, but I'm going to let Dee make the call on this.
I would like to see, okay, you say you're a heavy metal chef. Okay, I get it. Your channel is something about cooking. I would like to see something in there in your channel art somewhere that just, what are you doing? Are you teaching me recipes? Are you traveling with heavy metal bands? Are you the chef? Are you the chef for Iron Maiden on the road? Right? Are you giving people like 5-minute cooking tips? Like, what are you doing?
Are you having
cooking?
heavy metal artists come into your studio and help you cook recipes, and you have featured players like that come in and do cooking with you? That would make sense. But I don't see any of that stuff here. So as much as you're saying that the channel name is pretty clear, and it is, it's a memorable one. I'm having trouble realizing what this is other than it's some kind of a cooking channel, but I don't know what does it speak to me? Like I don't know at a glance exactly what he means. Are you just a chef who likes heavy metal? Or I'm missing that whole part of the equation.
So Is that his?
Yeah,
first one?
I have to say, and this is the thing that really triggered me the most, and it was the Lions who asked. When I looked at the homepage, uploads, shorts, there's nothing else here that would help me find that. There's no great playlist titles that would tell me things like, you know, our in studio popular rock and roll, you know, heavy metal guitarist helping us, you know, cook in studio, or recipes that our favorite heavy metal bands love to make on the road. There's none of those things that help us understand what the connection is beyond that.
Right.
So that's going to be a strike. Where are we at? 1-1? 1-1. We're
So
at 1-1.
the crowd decides again.
Crowd decides again. Okay, what else would you guys like to see? Let me pull the wheel back up so you can look at some of the choices that we have here. Makes it a little bit easier to see what you might want to think about. So we're 1-1.
Heavy Metal Chef, this is he says it's in the description. Here's the thing. People are not going to click in to read the description. Like, very few people are going to click into your description. You want all of this stuff to be right out in the open so people understand at a glance what your channel's about, what the video's about.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things when we talk about a clear value proposition, Heavy Metal Chef. Most people are going to be served your content in the wild. They might be served an individual piece of content and then choose to, like, what is this about? And they click your channel name to see what your channel's like. You're asking far too many steps. When we mean clear, we don't mean, hey, if you're willing to find a video, then go to my channel, then go to a different tab and then read the About tab. You'll know what my channel's about. That is not clear. That's making people jump through hoops to figure that out, where your channel at a glance should scream all of these things. Your playlist titles, the way your homepage is optimized, the way that your channel art is built. It had all albums up there, and they weren't even all heavy metal albums, and I didn't know the significance of the albums. So you're missing all those points of connection, all of those other pieces beyond just the About tab that will let someone know what's going on. Look at the people are choosing Advance.
People are choosing Advance. So let's look at thumbnails. So I think more people typed in thumbnails. So let's have a look at thumbnails.
Sure, absolutely. Let's do that. Sudden death coming on the way, folks. So let's go over to the videos tab, and I'm going to pull up the microscope here to make it a little easier on your eyes. Dee, what do you think of these?
Well, I like that he's putting the food there.
Yeah.
I like that he's putting the food there. I believe this is Snapseed that makes that text layout. 2022. I would, you know what, like, when it comes to text like this, and I know you're doing this on your phone and you're using Snapseed for this, I would almost not put text in this situation and just focus on the food, because as cool as Snapseed is, and for those of you who don't know what Snapseed is, it's a free app. It's owned by Google. You can, you know, you can correct photos and add simple text like this, and everything is kind of built in. So they have these text templates, and that's how it's coming up with this. I think it clutters the image. I think if you just focus on the food, if you're going to use Snapseed for this, I would just run with the food.
And let me explain this. Like, right here's a good example of what Dee's talking about. Like, this says tuna steak nachos, but if the picture's a little fuzzy, it almost looks like a screen grab from within the video, not an actual, not like you stopped and said, hey, when I made this, I'm going to take even my phone. Phones take great pictures nowadays, get some good lighting on this and get a great shot of it. It's a little fuzzy. It seems to be like it's not a real high-res picture, and then you put the words right over it, so you're blocking what it is, so we can't even really see the food. That one right there that triggers me. But I will say this, as I step back, I mean, that one, I don't love the text, but I can see that's a filet with asparagus. I can see that's a Philly cheesesteak. You didn't need to write that. This is some kind of a gravy on biscuits. That's a great chicken sandwich. I can see that. Lions?
I would say this. If you are going to put text in your thumbnails, like, look at tender sirloins. You see, like, that's
which one?
Simple. Like, I would go with less. Just write like one simple thing, nice and bold. Don't choose the fancy ones inside of Snapseed, because it can be difficult to read.
Yeah.
All right. So what say you, audience? Lions.
Audience, what do you think? Because I'm really on the fence. I think as a whole, I kind of get these, but you guys tell us. Thumbs up if you think these are very clear thumbnails that in an instant you know what this video is about. Because we're getting really super picky here. But we're always thinking about making sure that you're winning the click up against, you know, every other cooking channel that might, you know, people are used to seeing great food images, so it can be tricky. I'm seeing Living in Reno says thumbs up, but it could be improved. I'm seeing a thumbs down. from Sir Michael G, thumbs down. Thumbs up from, let's see, needs work but not far off. Doug Houston's giving it a thumbs up. Triathlon Tips is giving it a thumbs up. I'm seeing, it looks to me...
Mostly thumbs up.
Mostly thumbs up. So I think that is I think we're going to call that moving on. Is that 2?
Yeah, that's 2. And Heavy Metal Chef, here's the thing. You got a thumbs up on this one, but I think you could make them a little bit better.
And little things that you all want to think about, everybody out there. See how there's things like there's a border around this? You're giving up real estate when you do things like that with thumbnails. Just adding like a miscellaneous border that doesn't help sell the idea of how great this food is and why you might want to learn this recipe. And then you've got this pushback and you got text over it that's kind of small for the size of a thumbnail. It's probably going to be, that's going to show up on, mostly a mobile. So things like borders, and I know these are a year ago, Heavy Metal Chef, I'm aware of that. But in general, I'm just saying, think about how you're putting together. This one here from a year ago has another, but they have borders around them. Try to use you only have this much real estate. Maximize it. Get the best image in there. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Hit them with something that's really going to grab their attention. And don't try to mess it up with extra borders, too much text, things that distracts from the true messaging of the video.
Doug
We're going to do one more, chat?
They win because they make me hungry.
Yeah, but Doug, let's be honest here.
Go.
Let's be honest here, Doug. We're underfed.
All right.
Anyone who can cook could probably get us to be like, man, that looks good.
All right, so the crowd, the Lions, you get to choose one more.
Pick one more. Anything you guys want to see. This could be, you could potentially send Heavy Metal Chef down the road of misery if you pick something that he can't. They've already looked at the channel too. That's what's really, if someone has a vendetta, they know where to get them. But if someone wants to see him move on, they can also use that to their advantage. What do you guys like to see? You got a nice welcome home, D, from Pixelpia out there in the chat.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's really great. It's good to have you back, pal. There's no difference from my perspective. You still seem to be in the same spot. It's just above me.
So we have a question here. It says, does the text facing out also draw the viewer out of the thumbnail? Are you talking about it generally? It depends. Like, if you're putting yourself in there and you're having text on there, people read, if they're reading English, they're reading left to right. So you just want to be mindful of the entire design. There isn't a hard rule because it depends on what else is in the thumbnail. Different images that we can put together. We can use arrows. We can use color. We can use some words or letters larger than the others to actually draw our eyes to something. Mm-hmm. So you can manipulate how people actually look at an image if you know how to do it. So that's not a black and white answer. Yeah, unfortunately.
It's just the idea being here, you're always trying to put things in your thumbnail that will win the click, that compel the viewer to stop in the scroll and go, I want to watch that one. So keeping them simple, keeping them easy to understand, and things that would speak to the viewer's interest are the really most important things. End screens I've seen several times out there. You want to go with end screens? Perfect.
Let's do it.
All right. Now, Heavy Metal Chef. You've been around the block a few times. What?
Hold on. Pause. He says, I have no end screens. I don't know how to put them in.
Oh.
It always says the wrong resolution. He's doing everything on a phone. Yeah. And end screens on a phone, it's a nightmare.
It can be. All right. We're going to let that one slide. Why don't we pick another thing here? What else was in the chat? End screens, end screens. Let me scroll. I'm trying to see what other people asked for. Advance. End chapters. Oh, look at you guys getting crazy. End screens was a big one. Titles. I do see titles. Want to do titles?
Let's go. Yeah, let's see what his titles are doing.
All right, let's go. Let's get over here to titles. Let's get back to the channel. All right. Let's go to the videos tab. And D, I'm going to read some of these out to you, and you tell me what you think.
Let's go.
I'm going to get this wrong. Shibtastic chicken, ultimate French bread pizza. Giant Twinkie. Amazing. My hero, my dad, my friend, thanks to all my... That was a personal one he put out there. The best Southern-style tomato gravy. Cilantro lime rice in Uncle Roger's rice cooker. What are you thinking?
You know what? Some of them could be better. Some of them could be better, but I know what the videos are. And that's, when it comes down to it, if I read the titles for most of those, I know what's going on with the video.
The original Philly cheesesteak, the best creamy pesto pasta. I think you're right. I think that one I love a lot. The best creamy pesto pasta, 5-star. That's very good. Yeah. I think that's a solid one. I see the giant Twinkie, amazing. Picture could have been better. I wish I'd actually seen a little more of the Twinkie. But we're talking about titles. I think you got it on titles. I think they're good.
Advanced,
so that's a third hit. which means you're going to be moving on to the final round. See, this is why this game can change in a second. Don't ever count yourself out.
That's right. And I guess, you know what time it is?
It's that time.
Sudden death.
D, explain to people what we're doing here when the red sudden death screen comes up.
Yeah, now we're doing the exact same thing, but you only get one chance. We're going to put one word in. We choose the word. We choose the channel. One spin, you're in or out. This is going to move really fast, and we're going to plow through channels this way. So the first word to put in right now is pinned comment. Type in the word pinned comment, and we just leave these up for a couple of seconds. So this is one of those things that if you snooze, you'll lose. Geraldo, are you ready?
Geraldo is ready.
Let's go. Sudden death moves fast.
Oh, we're not playing around.
Nope. I mean, we're playing around, but like, not really.
It's not really like work.
Yeah. Cyclone Sid.
Cyclone Sid, our pal Paul, back up on the board, going for it. Paul is also in our members group here, so I'm going to hope that he's got his act in gear and ready to show us his skills. Okay, I've got the channel, but I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just gonna pull up the wheel, and we're gonna do one spin, right? One in or out.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
All right. Okay, I'm cool with that. Okay, here's our wheel. One spin. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Missed you, Geraldo. You're doing a great job over there, pal.
Yeah, he's on point today.
Featured link in the description. I think we've been pretty clear about this along the way, and what we're talking about is making sure that you have a link pointing towards a very specific thing, not just links all over your description, and preferably put above the fold, above the show more. Does he have them? Let's find out.
Let's see.
Let's see which video we want to look at. Here's one from 13 days ago. It's 13 minutes long. It's plenty of time to have gone in and put a featured link. And right here, you will see with a nice emoji, crank position sensor test, and a link to another piece of content. That is moving on.
There you go. Congratulations.
Do we have that graphic?
That's one.
Do we have those graphics?
Do we? Oh, we do.
Did you leave those in Mexico?
Look at me. Boy, I'm a mess today. So this one.
Advance.
So what happens when you only do this once a month?
There's a lot of buttons. Folks, this is a fast-moving show. We're doing the best we can. Dee's not used to being back in Thailand. Like, the time zone's different, so everything is a little off.
I'm actually, so for those of you who don't know, Thailand is like a 12-hour time difference from most places like in the U.S. So we've been waking up at like 5 a.m. and going to bed at like 8, 9 p.m. And it's past midnight over here. So I'm like severely jet lagged trying to run this.
How long did it take you to actually how long was the travel?
Well, it was supposed to be 47 hours of travel time, but due to a plane delay, it was like 50 something hours.
Good
and
Lord,
that was once we departed from Mexico. That didn't count the 5 hours that we spent at the airport before we departed.
Wow.
So it was brutal.
I was whining when I had to sit in the supermarket line for 10 minutes the other day, so I'll say nothing.
It was brutal.
End screen. Are we going to roll this thing?
Roll. Let's go.
Let's go. End screen. End screen. End screen.
So Paul Peck in there. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, good to see you, Paul. Spectrum Art Studio. Let me pull up Spectrum Art Studio. Spectrum.
Great name.
Yeah. I would say that's a very clear channel name, that I would expect that this would be an art channel right off the bat. And as I pull it up, certainly seems to be that.
All right. Awesome.
But I don't get to do, we're not allowed to do anything here. We're going to let the wheel decide what we're going to look at. So let's take a look at the wheel and spin it. One shot. Right. Welcome to sudden death. Or sudden life, if it works out in your favor.
That's right. One or the other.
The word they had to type in the chat was end screens, and the thing we are looking at is, in fact, end screens. Sometimes serendipity is a wonderful thing.
There you go.
So let's take a look. I'm going to go to, they've got a little over 1,800 subscribers. Congratulations on that. That's
awesome.
A heck of a feat to get that many people to subscribe. So that's a great start. Let me look at, here is a 10-minute video. I can already see there's chapters in there. I'm seeing some good things. I see a card. Let me go to the end. And there are, in fact, end screens here. So that is an advance.
Everyone has advanced today.
Yeah, but only one person has gotten the advanced graphic.
That's right. I'm just
Listen,
dropping the ball.
Advance.
We're looking for
Fire
a new
me.
production coordinator. We'll have applications in the description
Fire
of the
me.
video.
Yeah. You know
Listen,
what?
this is a hard job. We make it look easy, but it's very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep forgetting I did this last time. I keep forgetting that we have the advanced in the game over for these. Yeah.
Okay, let me get
All right,
that.
the word to type in right now is Streamyard. Geraldo, if you're ready.
Geraldo's ready. Go for it.
What's it going to be? Yeah, everyone has advanced.
That's a good thing. We like it when they
Yeah,
move
no
forward.
losers.
Let me just get Spectrum Art Studio into the final round here. I will forget the name.
Awesome. Speak English with this guy. He's been a winner before, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been on the show, and I think either he won it all. He won merch, or he came in. He made it to the final round.
Well, there's no rules against that, as we've always said. It's all a matter of get in here, do your thing. You can always, even if you happen to strike out on one of the rounds, you could come back later on and win it.
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
You got his channel up?
Let me grab it here.
Okay.
Let's see. Speak English with this guy. This is fast. It's too fast for me.
Speak English with this guy.
This guy.
I'd be happy to.
Sure. It's only really language I'm good at. Okay, I have the channel.
Got it.
I'm not going to look at anything. Let's pull up the wheel and figure out in one shot what we're going to take a look at here. I need an assistant. Megan?
What's it gonna be?
Cards. We're going to be looking at cards today. Let's go over to his channel and see if Speak English with this guy is speaking to his audience by using cards in his videos. Here's one from 2 days ago.
He's got him.
And I see that right up there. Look at that card right there, ready to go. Nice.
Advance.
I got it that time. Next word to type in is the word watch time. Watch time. YouTubers, you should know what the word watch time means. Type that in the chat right now. Whiskey Trek says, I don't use or click on cards.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't. However, a small percentage of people do. And here's the way you have to look at this. A small percentage of people use cards. A small percentage of people click on end screens. A small percentage of people will click on pinned comments. A small percentage of people will click on links in your description, right? All of those together can add up, especially if you have a very large content library and your channel's really got some legs, you're bringing in a lot of views. That can really add up to a lot of watch time. It can add up to a lot of views.
Yep. And you know what?
So
here's an important thing. What Dee is trying to tell you here is just because you don't do something doesn't mean that other people out there don't do it themselves. So don't judge what you should be doing based upon your own specific actions and how you use YouTube. Because I can tell you right now, I put a lot of effort into how I use cards and where I use cards, and I have a 20% click-through rate on cards. 20%. So 20% of the time when a card is shown on my channel, someone clicks it. So let data be your guide. Just don't say, well, I don't click on cards, so I won't use them. Remember that cards aren't served all the time. They aren't always served depending on the type of device or when they're shown or how if someone's logged in or not logged in. So one of the things is if you have an opportunity and you have an opportunity to drive more views and you just decide not to use it because you're like, well, I don't really pay attention to cards. That's like saying, well, I don't really pay attention to channel art, so I'm not going to use channel art. I don't really click on playlists, so I'm not going to use playlists. I don't really watch gaming channels, so gaming channels shouldn't be on YouTube. You can't just say, well, because the way you use the platform is something that someone else shouldn't be doing, or you shouldn't be doing for the person you're optimizing for.
Yeah, and another thing to think about is YouTube gives us tools. YouTube gives us all of these tools to get more views, to get more watch time, right? To lead people to other pieces of content. YouTube gives us these tools. If it makes sense to use the tools, use the tools. They're giving them to us for a reason.
100%. Yeah, really think about that. That it's not always about one thing. It's about how all these things work together, okay?
Right.
So those little bit, we're trying to squeeze every little bit of juice out of the things we can control. So don't leave those things on the table. Get them all working together. Did we spin this already? Watch time? No, we didn't yet.
Go.
Let's
Ready?
go. Go. Geraldo, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
He's very
fantastic.
quiet today. Pensive.
He is.
He's worried about it. He's known this. He could be easily replaced. We've replaced him twice. The winner is Investing with Matt. Investing with Matt. Now, I'm going to say that I know what this channel's about.
I think he's been on here before, too.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Matt, we may need to talk later because if you've seen my IRA right now, it's in complete disrepair. Every stock I've invested in, every tech stock is tanked.
So
okay,
while
I'm not going to
pulling
do
him
anything.
up, while you're pulling him up real quick, Mr. Cloudy says, I have a question. Do you need to be the first to write the word? No. All you have to do is just write the word in. So when we show a word, write the word in, and the tool that we're using randomizes a winner. So it doesn't matter when you do it, as long as it's before we actually start spinning. Once we
And
start
you only need to
spinning-
type it in once. If you type it in more than once, it doesn't improve your odds. It only registers your name and you haven't typed it in. So put it in the chat and you have
Exactly.
the same odds as everybody else. So there's the channel. There's the wheel.
Let's go.
Let's see what we're going to look at today. Notice I can spot the difference between a wheel and a channel. I've been practicing. Optimized playlist. Dee, can you explain to the good people out here what
We've already talked. You know what? We've already explained it. We should be moving forward.
Okay, we're just going to
Sudden
run.
death.
Let's see if you got them. I'm looking.
It's
We're not
sudden
playing
death,
around.
man.
Listen. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
looking. I'm scrolling down, and I know no words necessary. You tell me what we're doing. I'm in.
Yeah.
Matt's most recent uploads, is that optimized? Maybe.
not.
I don't know. I don't know that would compel me to click because if I don't know who Matt is.
But he's
I'm
got
going to go down
others.
here. Investing in index funds, everything you need to know about index funds. Wonderful
That
title.
is an optimized playlist right there.
And then he has a nice description about talking about index funds. He'll share with you the education and information about index funds that you'll need for low-cost, broad-based index funds. This is wonderful. And as I go down more, I see money habits to help you achieve financial independence. I don't need to look any farther. I say these are really, really great playlists you got going on here,
Yep.
Matt. Well done.
Yeah, those are fantastic. So back to optimized playlists and what they actually are. That's a prime example of how to do them correctly. If you're looking at your playlist and they just say things like cooking or vlogs or vacation, those are not optimized. Treat your playlist just like you would a video. Make them descriptive, so when somebody reads the title of a playlist or the description of a playlist, they know exactly the type of videos that are in that playlist, right? You want them to go in, you want them to binge watch your content.
Yeah, and part of that is your playlist should be helping to support your value proposition. So even if I had never seen the name of his channel, if I'd never seen his channel art, and I hadn't even seen a video, and I said to somebody, I'm going to tell you a little something about this channel. Tell me if you can guess what this channel's about. And then I tell them the playlist is money habits to help you achieve financial independence. You would immediately go, oh, it's some kind of financial advice channel? Absolutely right. That's exactly what this is.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Okay, so the word up right now, the letters is CTR. That stands for click-through rate. Did you have another? What were you going to say?
I was trying to read it like a word. Cooter.
Oh, the next word is kidder.
Cooter.
Click-through rate. That is the percentage of people who are actually they've been shown your thumbnail and they're clicking on the actual.
Dee, what's a
thumbnail.
good
Click-through
CTR?
rate. Oh boy, how long is a piece of string? How long is a piece of string? But that's a great question. People ask all the time, what should my click-through rate be? Click-through rate can change wildly based on on your traffic source as well. What I say is this: try to get your click-through rate as high as you can, and then try to find ways to make it higher, right? And the more views you get, it's perfectly normal for your click-through rate to go down because YouTube is actually showing that thumbnail, showing that video to more people, and obviously more people are not going to actually click on it, which is going to lower your click-through rate.
Yeah.
So do the best you can. Don't get so caught up in it that you get paralyzed thinking that you're not succeeding because you have a low click-through rate.
Yeah, you'll know right off the bat if your video is doing well. You don't need to. If you put a video out today and it drives 10,000 views in the first 24 hours, you don't need to run into the CTR to figure out if it's got a good click-through rate or not, or if people are watching it. You'll know just from the velocity of something moving forward. Okay, you ready?
Right,
to,
and you're going to
spin
find
this?
out over time. You're going to figure out, okay, on average, I can generally get, let's just say 8%, right? So on average, I get about 8%, and that's going to vary based on your niche and traffic sources, etc. So just you can set your own benchmark and aim for that.
You know what I do like to, not to drag this out too long, I like to do this. I know what's a good click-through rate for me for a video that's going to explode. I know, because right out of the gate, if I can put a video up and in the first 2 to 3 hours, it drives over 13% CTR, I know that video is going to be a runner for me and my channel, only because I know how my audience consumes my content. If it's below that, I know I'm probably slow out of the gate. It's not reaching as many people, and this video is probably not going to explode. So that's it. Just me comparing to me, I know. And that changes over time. My average on my channel is only around 5 or so. But right out of the gate, when it's being served to people who have the bell notification, they've subscribed, it's getting out there the first time because it's brand new, I try to hit 13 or better, and that's when I know something's doing really well on my channel.
That's solid. And I'm glad you said that, because how long did it take you before you could put your finger on that and realize that?
Oh, I needed to make a lot of videos. I needed to needed to start driving a lot of views. I needed to get better at making packaging, better thumbnails, better titles, better videos. And once I learned how to make videos that could drive tens of thousands of views, then I could start looking at the data, and it was important data because there was more of it, right? Like if you walk up to one house and you try to sell them like a vacuum cleaner and they go, no, thank you. You can't go, well, no one in this town wants to buy vacuum cleaners. You only talk to one person. There's not enough data to make an accurate decision. So more data, better for making better decisions.
Love it.
Want to spin this?
Geraldo, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Eric Waite Whiskey Studios, our friend Eric out there trying to get into the final round. Let me pull up his channel. I love Eric.
Uncle Eric.
Uncle Eric.
Uncle Eric. Eric Waite Whiskey Studies.
Did I say studios?
Yeah.
Falling over my lips today. I apologize for that. A good example of a great channel name. There is no question here what this channel is about. Obviously, he covers all things whiskeys. So this is, I love his channel name. I like the way his channel art looks and all those things. I don't get to decide what we're looking at. But I love it when I can tell what a channel is before we've even just heard the name and we know what this channel is going to be about.
Right.
Let's spin and see what we're going to look at. Boy, do we even need to say anything more? Do we? Come on. What are we talking about here? Whiskey Studies, Eric Waite, exploring the world of whiskey. And the name of the channel is Eric Waite Whiskey Studies. I don't even think we need to go any farther. He's got all the pictures of the whiskeys up there in the channel art. I think you know in an instant before you even have to scroll. Everything above the fold. And the very first video here for me is, and I'm subscribed to the channel, so I'm getting served returning subscriber, is an upcoming stream that he's going to be doing. It's scheduled for, right? So, and this is the Glenlivet Distillery. So he's talking about a very popular, well-known whiskey. I think he nailed it here. He just screams whiskey, all things whiskey.
Here we go.
Advance.
All right, congratulations. The word to type in right now is upload, and we're just going to leave this up for a couple of seconds here. Type in the word upload as quickly as possible, because Geraldo's standing over there and he's ready to beat on that tempo.
Daniel's trying to type in Eric Waite Whiskey Studies as fast as possible into the winner's wheel. This keeps me on my toes, this pace, man.
It does.
It's tough to move. With this many winners, it's tricky.
We've had a winner every single time.
I think we've only threw one person out because they accept poop scoops for noobs because he got eliminated.
He was eliminated, but he didn't lose.
He didn't lose. He didn't lose like he didn't have it because of best practices. He just got knocked out. But he's probably sitting there going, "You bastards."
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
He's the only one today. Poop scooper. Well, all right,
scooper.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do this. Roll that thing.
Let's do this.
Upload. There we go. Our winner today is Morgana. Morgana for this round. Let's pull this up. Morgana. Hey, is that Heidi Loney out there in the chat? I think it's Heidi's birthday today. So I just like to say a huge happy birthday to our pal Heidi from Costume Co.
That's happy birthday. Oh, it's your birthday.
I think I saw that on Facebook. But I wanted to make sure I was able to say happy birthday to you, pal. I hope you're having a great day and you get all the things that I sent you in the mail. Oh, wait a minute. I left him in Mexico. I'm sorry. It was a pillow. It was a coffee cup.
I love it. While you're pulling up the channel, I'm going to hit this really quick because this person is just desperate to get an answer. Okay. Why is it that videos without my face in the thumbnails do better than videos with my face in the thumbnail when it comes to browse, channel page, and YouTube, etc.? Okay, so here's the thing. Click-through rates are going to vary based on the traffic sources. Thumbnail designs, like which ones do better, are going to change based on the traffic sources. It just depends, right? Sometimes I have videos do better when my face is not in them. Sometimes they do better when my face is in them. One thing that I do when I have the time to do it is when I first publish the video, I want my subscribers to realize that it's me, especially if I'm trying something different with the thumbnail. I'll make sure that I'm in it. Then once the traffic source changes, because I do get a lot of search traffic, then I'll take myself out of it sometimes. And then I'll just put a phone up there or something and more text. That doesn't always work, but a lot of times it does. So it's okay if you change your thumbnail style based on the traffic source.
Yeah, and I didn't even start putting my face into thumbnails till I had probably, it was probably, over 50, maybe closer to 100 videos on my channel because no one really knew me and it didn't really help. Right. How did it help the viewer to get them to understand? I was trying to teach people how to make better content and grow a YouTube channel. So once people started to know who I was and I had gotten my silver play button and I had a bigger community, I know that, I knew that people seeing me and all this hair might trigger them to go, oh, that's Daniel right there, and jump right on it and stop them in their scroll. So be intentional about it. Think about why would your face stop somebody and help them click? Does it really bring something to the thumbnail that might trigger them? If it triggers them, add it into the thumbnail.
Yeah. Okay, that's spot on. Like if people don't know you, then what is your face adding to the actual thumbnail?
Now, your brother is a great example of someone from right from the get-go started putting his face in his thumbnails, and I've asked him about this a bunch, and he continues to do it. And he said, because as I grew the channel, I knew it didn't mean much off the bat, but as I grew the channel and the channel became more successful, I wanted my face and my look to always be the branding mark. People will go, that's Nick. Right. That's Nick. So it was an intentionality to it. So listen, even if nobody knows you yet and you're putting your face in there, if that's the point, if you have intentionality of why you're putting your face in, then that makes a lot of sense. But if it's you're just putting it in there going, I don't really care if my face is in it or not, what I'm trying to do is get people to connect with the content, then go with what works and what seems to get people to click. And don't be afraid to change. If you put a video out immediately, it's going to get served to the most active subscribers and viewers on your channel. So like Matt Geelan used to put his face in the thumbnail for the first 2,000 views, and then he'd switch the thumbnail to something else without his face because he knew it didn't help people who had no idea who he was and where that was going to start getting surfaced after it had gone past that initial most active subscriber base.
Yeah, that's what I do when I have time too. I want my subscribers to know that it's me, right? Once my traffic source starts to change or I get to a certain view count, if I've got time, I'll swap that out. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it does.
Hey, I'm just happy if I can get a video uploaded. Let's spin this wheel.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that anymore. I forgot.
YouTube, you say?
Yeah. I'm something over on Rumble, though. You should check me out over there.
OnlyFans. Okay, clear thumbnails. Let's take a look at this channel and see if they have cleared thumbnails, which is a good one for us because I got to be honest with you, this one is in another language. It's not in English, and for me, when they're in another language, it gets tricky. So I'm going to put this up here. Let's do this one last thing. We're getting near the end of the show here. Can we let the Lions decide whether or not these are clear thumbnails? These thumbnails, in an instant, when we say clear, you should be able to see what this is and immediately understand what the content is about. And here's a great example because it's not in a language that I personally speak. So here's a spot where a clear thumbnail can help really express what the video is about, because here the titling isn't going to help me. I'm seeing Route 66. That makes me feel like travel. Looks like they're dressed in motorcycle gear and exploring. Looks like out on a motorcycle, riding motorcycles. Yeah, this is great. Like
even in a different language, I don't know exactly what the video is about, but I got a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'm guessing, if I were to guess, this is their travel exploits, right? Travel exploits on specifically on motorcycles. So that's an interesting thing. What do the lions say out there? We're getting thumbs down. We're getting thumbs up. We're getting thumbs down. Driving Route 66, 3 thumbs up. No. Understandable. Travel channel. No. It's a little back and forth. I hope I didn't sway it. They're definitely saying that even people who may not speak the language are getting that it's a travel channel. I mean, I'm thinking it's specifically a motorcycle travel channel, like exploits on a motorcycle. We're getting... D, tell me what you're seeing in the chat here.
Man, I'm seeing back and forth. I'm seeing ups, downs. We're on the fence on this one. We're on the fence. Why don't you call it, Daniel?
You know what? I'm going to say that this is a win. I think there are, excuse me.
Advance.
You can tell it's late in the day when my throat starts going. I think what we're looking at here, what I would recommend, maybe you don't need to put quite as much elements. You got double pictures going on in a lot of these. We've decided to put 2 images. I would probably, for you, I would try to simplify a bit. I love the ones where it's like this one where you're sort of, I think that's maybe your wife, where you're on the motorcycle at the location, says a lot. That really explains a lot to me. So some are great, some could be improved. But overall, I think I understand what the channel's about.
Yeah, I dig it.
Cool. I think that we're at that spot, D, where we might have to move to the final spin here, and let's pick a winner.
Spin.
Let me get Morgana put into our winner's wheel. Morgana.
All right, so this is going to be the final spin to decide who gets the StreamYard merch. Great T-shirts, great hoodies. They got an awesome pillow, which I left behind in Mexico. They got a huge coffee cup that I use as a cereal bowl that I also left behind in Mexico.
Hey,
they serve me well.
I know a guy. We can get you hooked up. We can get you new stuff. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I am shocked. Hold on a second.
This is the biggest winner circle ever.
Pull up this wheel. Look how many winners we have on our wheel right now. This is insane. Wow. It almost looks like the actual best practices wheel.
Wow. Look at that.
Congratulations,
everyone.
Yeah, listen, everybody out there, pulling up channels and seeing so many of you really, really diving into these best practices and putting them into play. That just makes us feel great about watching you guys take some of this advice and actually putting it into action. Really smart. If anyone out there who's been watching and playing along, who maybe isn't using some of these best practices, all it's going to do is improve the chances of your channel being able to connect with the viewer a little bit better. So congrats for the people who have been doing it. And if you're not, just get back out there and start putting these things in your next video. Use some of the best practices tips that we've been given along the way.
Yeah. Now, before we spin this, I do want to say that we are here on the StreamYard channel doing this exact channel review show, this channel review stream, the second Saturday of every single month here on the StreamYard channel. The second Saturday of every single month. And Daniel has his own channel. I have my own channel. They're both linked down in the description below. Be sure to check those out. And thank you, StreamYard, for allowing us to take over your channel. That's pretty brave.
That is with the two of us knuckleheads. That's extremely brave. Risky was the word I would use. And we have to say, like, this entire stream, we've been using StreamYard to produce the live stream game show that you're watching right now. And there's a link down in the description. If you want to live stream, or you haven't tried live streaming before, or you are live streaming but you want to simplify it, you can go right now. You can sign up for StreamYard completely free and start live streaming up to 20 hours a month. Man, I'm lucky if we do 2 hours a month. 20 hours a month for free, and you have a lot of these options available, and they do have higher tiers that you can get licenses for if you want to unlock even more options to take your stream to the next level. So definitely check out StreamYard. Thanks for letting us do this here, guys. We appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Final spin. Here we go.
All right, Geraldo. Yeah, he's licking his lips. Let's do this thing.
Let's do it.
Oh, this one's nerve-wracking for me. We've never had so many potential winners right here.
Everyone except for the channel, the Poop Scoop, who got disqualified. Everyone else eliminated. Sorry, not disqualified, eliminated.
There is our winner, Mr. Sir Michael G. I don't know why I can't spell Michael properly. I put a 4 in there.
I don't know what you did there. Sir Michael G, congratulations. You won.
You have won, my friend. Now listen, this is what we're going to have you do. Now, just quickly, Mr. Sir Michael G, if you look in the chat, my channel manager, Megan, is there. All you have to do is reach out to her and send her your information to megan@danielbatal.com. She will drop that in the chat. You can confirm your channel, and she'll give you the link so that you can go pick the piece that you would like from the StreamYard merchandise webpage, and then we'll get you hooked up and get that shipped out. So congratulations.
Yeah, and he might be in the Philippines. So
I think we've
Not
had
sure.
success shipping there. If for any reason,
you?
yeah, I think there's a couple of places that sometimes can be tricky to ship. India can be tricky. I think the Philippines might be okay. If for any reason we have any issues getting you what you want, we always have alternatives. We've been authorized to give away Streamyard licenses coming up. That's one of the things I even told you. I've been talking to the people at Streamyard. We're going to be doing. We're going to be able have the ability
I've
to
been
give
on
away.
a plane. I've been on a plane for
the
days.
last month. We're going to be giving away even more prizes during the game show. So we've got the thumbs up to do more than one prize, not just at the end. So you're going to start seeing more prizes, and you're going to start seeing things like StreamYard licenses show up here, so that you can actually get access to the higher tier live streaming stuff if that's something you're interested in.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Mr. Batal, thank you so much. It's so glad to be back.
I'm
And
glad
this
to
is kinda
have you
weird.
back.
Because I'm usually like waking up and this is happening like early afternoon for me since we started the whole thing. So like
Now it's like nighttime. What is it? It's
now
like
nighttime.
midnight
Yeah,
there,
it's
right?
like almost 1 a.m. Yeah.
Gosh. Well, welcome to Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. Great.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. Thank you for making this game show as the success that it's been, and thank you for working so hard on your channels. And like Dee said, the second Saturday of every month, right around noon EST, we will be here doing this again.
See you next time. Peace. Cheers. Peace.